So let's talk about understanding how to start changing what you're doing. Obviously, with everyone with MS, your symptoms, how you live your life is going to be different. So, lucky for me, for lack of a better word, I'm able to get most use of my body back after having a relapse. Where some people might not get the ability to walk, talk, write, or whatever they lose back, and they have to live with that the rest of their life. But this is something you have to adjust to. So let's say our best example is you become gluten intolerant. So you have to start ciphering out gluten from your diet, and eventually it kind of becomes a routine. So you have to do the same thing here when it comes to your health. So if you're trying to stay fit so that as you get sick or as life goes on, if anything happens, you don't have to worry about that part of your health. You know, you've been healthy eating or you've been exercising and you've been keeping in tip top shape. So in case a cure does come along or in case something does happen, you don't have to be so worried. You don't have to feel like, oh, I'm already obese or moderately obese. I'm already have trouble breathing or I already have trouble moving from how I eat or how I treat my body. You can just be like, cool, I know this is how my body is. And that's why when I get sick and go to the doctor, I can give them evidence. I go, yes, I used to be able to hold 600 pounds in my hand. Now I can't hold a piece of paper. Or I know what part of my body is not functioning correctly because I know how it is when I'm exhausted and pushing it to the limit. As you start understanding your limits, which can always be broken, you'll start understanding your body more and more. That way, you'll start understand, hey, is my neurologist right for me? Do I need one that's going to be more in depth with me and my symptoms? Or do I need to push myself a little bit more to get satisfaction, get a challenge in? I think a lot of people stop challenging themselves once they start getting sick more and more and more because they're scared. But being scared can be the best thing in the world because as you push past that, you'll get better and better and better. And it's really hard for people to understand this because obviously we have motivational speakers that get paid to tell you what to do or what to think or what to say. But really, it's up to your mindset of what you're going to do with your life. So, for instance, I have, like I said, about 64 to 75 days before next comp. But by the end of the month, I need to be under 200 pounds. Why? Because that will put me on the right track. But that's my choice. If I don't make that weight, I know I can't healthily make it to 181. And yes, I could compete at 198, but I want to push myself to the absolute limit and know I've done my best. I don't see a point of competing somewhere if you're not going to do your best because you're just pretty much there if you're just there to. A lot of people try to say, oh, you're competing against yourself. Sometimes I think that's bullshit. You should compete to be better than everyone else you're competing against. And yes, I know being healthy is your own competition, but I mean, when you think of best quarterbacks, you think of Tom Brady. You don't think of some other guy, you think of Tom Brady. And most people might call him arrogant or cocky, but everywhere he went, he said he'd be the starter. And he worked his ass off to be the starter and be the best at his position. You should be able to be the best with your disease. So you can be respectful and help other people with your disease. But understand, you want to be as tougher. You want to be as tough as they are, even tougher. And if you're competing against the ones that are competing, you can all push each other to be better, to be the best. And I think that mindset gets lost in a lot of people because they think, oh, well, I just want to be happy. Sometimes pushing yourself to the absolute limit and being the best is the happiness. And what people don't understand is as you train more and more and start understanding your body more and more, you might never win, but it's the fact that you're pushing yourself to that absolute limit that you will start understanding how happy you feel, how happy you are that you're able to do what you're doing even when you're sick. So we need to start understanding our mindset, understanding what we're doing. So for the last 2 days, Even a little bit today, I've been sick. I got a day flu, and for once, I was really happy because usually I get super exhausted and I can't really lift. And I lifted all 3 days, even with how sick I was. But I was able to understand. I slept a little bit more or a little longer, but I still went to the gym and still pushed myself. Obviously, there's limits that you can push yourself, but you start understanding these things. That's what you'll start understanding as you go. So let's start understanding our limits and start moving, and that's how we'll move forward.